What's up, one and all? I'm BrickingUpBrad.
I'm Matt Mellish.
And I'm Block.studios.
And I'm Ethan the Artisan.
And guys, we're the Stud Buds. Guys, I can tell you right now, I am very, very excited about our show today. Not only is this the first time in a while that we've all been on the show together, besides when we all hung out in Brick Fair, Virginia, but also we have very special guests. Now, look, you guys already know from the title, from the thumbnail, who it is. But I want to quickly start off with a story about this person. Because we met this guy at Brick Fair, Virginia, and it was a really cool time. And this was my first time meeting him. It was Matt's second time meeting him.
Yep.
And
met in Chicago.
And all I have to say is after recording the last the Stud Buds episode, we were all together. We ran into him, we hung out with him, and we talked with him. And I'll say that was the most interesting conversation I had that weekend. I think I had many interesting conversations, but it started off with us talking about Lego collectibles and ending up with the science of dating. So I don't know where this show's about to go today, but I am excited for wherever it goes. So guys, without any further ado, guys, it is Mini Superheroes Today. Let's go.
Hey, how's it going? Hi, guys.
So great to see you. Great to have you.
Likewise.
Really
great to be here.
So I don't know what avenues we're going to go down today, but hopefully it won't end up in the dating science again. I mean, it was interesting, but I think tonight we want to talk Lego. We want to talk collectibles. So first off, guys, the question we always ask, how was your week? And Matt, let's start off with you. Any big Lego purchases that you started your week off with this week?
Nothing really big. As I was the week prior, still looking for the new Star Wars sets from the August wave. I did happen to pick up the Obi-Wan Starfighter. Haven't built it yet, but I'm looking to do so very soon. Mainly for the Kaminoan minifigure. This is a set that I got for $30. Wasn't going to break the bank, so I felt good about getting that one I did at Target. But then I also started building on live streams all the sets that I got from Chicago, actually. So these are all used, but I have the Anakin's Pod Racer from 1999, the 2000 Desert Skiff. I also had the Clone Battle Pack from 2008 or 2009, as well as the Mandalorian Battle Pack. So these were from a much simpler time. Very good sets that I was enjoying reminiscing over as I did it on a TikTok live. So really, that was my week. I posted a Secret Agent Matt video that did pretty well yesterday. And I also have an upcoming Whatnot stream. So if you want to follow me on Whatnot, you might be able to win a Lego mystery box worth around $1,000 or bid on another one that we're auctioning off. I'm going to be hanging out with Slego at the end of this week, literally at his house. He's also going to be doing the same sort of giveaway later on in the evening, so follow him as well. But I'm excited to go and visit him and see his collection again.
I'm curious, do you know what's in the mystery box?
Yeah, I've been wondering that too. Oh,
Nope.
We open them up on stream.
That's
the only thing that we do know is that there is a golden brick in one of the mystery boxes. That's the only thing that we know.
Out of curiosity, who put together the mystery boxes?
Whatnot.
Oh, okay. So, okay. All right. I'm just curious. All right.
If you get the golden brick in your mystery box, like Zane said, there's only one golden brick that's in all 12 of them. I think there's 12 of them.
I believe.
You get a Jango Fett minifigure if you get that golden brick.
Ethan, I think Ethan got it.
Yeah.
Ethan, did you?
It's my bulk parts. I'm sure that's like a $4 part.
No.
I just want so bad for somebody to win the $1,000 box and open it up and be like, all right, let's see what you won. $1,000 worth of Angry Bird booty.
Oh, that would be heartbreaking.
I mean, that is quite a bit of Lego bricks, though. Like, you could do some serious mocks with $1,000 worth of Lego
things.
Yeah, that's true.
If you win the Angry Bird, you seem so excited.
Would you guys turn that down if that's what it was? You'd be like,
yeah,
give it to someone else.
I would take it and then resell it.
I'd actually donate it to charity.
Oh, there you
know,
go.
okay.
Way to make it a
See,
sweet
an
moment.
up-
Yeah.
citizen. Among these thieves.
Matt, why
Zane,
did you
how
toss
was
it?
Zane? How was your week?
My week was actually one of like the best weeks I've had in a long time. I mean, Brick Fair was
Ooh.
like up there, but this one made it seem like I was still back having a great time.
Good.
Lego wise, I got this Speed Champion set. It's my first Speed Champion. Honestly, I just wanted
Right.
something to build, and I got it, and I
I
didn't
think you'll
build
like
it.
those.
I think you will too. I feel like that's very you. Like you like.
I do
cars
like
and you
cars. I do like cars. I love cars. Next up, I got the thing, the
Ooh.
Inquisitor ship. Thank you. I couldn't even think of the word. Inquisitor thing.
You spent
I wanted to build
$100
that
on it, you don't
too.
even know the name.
Oh, I do know the name, but I forgot. Honestly, these things I keep buying them because I want to build them when I get home, and then I just don't. I'm just like, oh, I gotta do this, make some content, blah blah blah, watch some TV, and so they're just there. But this week I went to Walmart, and I didn't want to go to Walmart. I was doing a live stream, and my buddy's like, hey, let's go to Walmart, and I'm like, no, I really don't want to. I want to take a nap. I don't want to do this, and he made me go. He guilt tripped me into
Such
going.
an awful human being.
Right? I was like, what a G-rated content guy that is.
Thank you for the
You're welcome.
censorship.
I tried to find a word to fit, but nothing fit. So I just said that.
Bleep.
And long story short, I found the DeLorean, which I've been looking for forever,
Go.
for
Yeah.
$170 when
Let's
Lego
go.
has it for $200 on their website, I believe, right? So I think Walmart hadn't quite figured out the price increase, because last time I went back, I think yesterday to get some groceries, it was marked at $200 now. Like I got it like right in that little spot where they put on the shelf. Someone's like, "Hey, that's wrong," and then they corrected it. So
Those are the best
That's
times to find Lego. So
right in the nick of time.
and I never find anything cool at my store. My store is always like friend sets and maybe a Buzz Lightyear and some Ninjago. And it's like, woo, I don't want any of that. So it was kind of cool to find that. Ethan, what about you?
So I had a pretty good week myself. Okay, let's fast forward to Brick Rodeo and
Ooh,
You mean rewind?
yeah, rewind. I got some tires, and like I love reverse tires. And I really specifically wanted this one. And I got a couple of them because I used them all for my robot for the legs and the arms as well.
Yes.
And I finally
Wait, whoa. The robot? Where's the robot?
he destroyed it, didn't you know?
that one.
Oh, thank God. I was about to be upset. Sorry. Moment.
That's why I got the tires at Brick Rodeo. But I rebuilt my my fat crow for the words that I have to use for TikTok because
Fat crow.
videos get deleted like that, so you have to make up words. But this is my grenade. I think I can say it on YouTube. But that was
Demonetized.
that I literally did that 5 minutes before I hopped on here. But I also built a mock of about the Snow Guardian from the CMF series. I think last
You beat
year.
me to it.
Oh man,
Nice.
Looks pretty cool.
It's awesome.
dang.
Got a
That is
iron
really cool.
golem thing with red eyes and of course
Dang.
the free form. And one thing that I was proud of myself is I have a lot of
You didn't drop the trees?
I didn't drop the trees. Every time I shown before, the trees just fall off, and that time it didn't. But one thing I was proud of myself was I have a lot of mocks that are built in white, like a mixer in BD1, and I didn't take a single part off of those mocks. Now, the sets I did. I did take a few, but that was that. I did freeform, and freeform's pretty cool. A lot of white slubs. I think that was my week though. I got a Lego sign. Got a.
Did y'all lie to me? Is that tensegrity behind you?
Oh, is it?
Did you guys lie to me about him taking that apart? I
What?
believed you so hard.
What?
What? I don't.
Sorry, we'll get back on track here. But you guys lied to me, and I'm upset about it now.
I wasn't part of that conversation.
I don't think I was either.
I said the robot, not the tensegrity, but okay.
No, this was last night when we were discussing the show.
I don't remember talking about this. That might have been after I got off.
Anyways, Jonathan, how was your week?
It's been good. Been juggling a lot here in Nashville, and I went out Lego hunting this weekend. Found some clearance, nothing too crazy, but I bought something on eBay the other night. And it was such a crazy story. Like, the story is almost as good as what the haul is. Unfortunately, I can see all the sets from here, but they're out of reach. So I'll just have to tell you. But I have one here that I can show you. So long story short, earlier this week, I'm on eBay and I'm just looking around, dangerous thing to do when you're a Lego fan. And somebody had a bunch of sealed Spider-Man 2 sets listed in a lot. And it was a starting bid of 400 or best offer. And I thought, you know what, for kicks, I'm just going to send a best offer of 400, the starting bid, and I'll just see what happens. So I sent the offer and kind of forgot about it. Then I think it was it had to have been the same day. I'm out with this girl and we're sitting at the table and I feel my phone ding, and I generally don't check my phone at the table, but for whatever reason I did this time, and I looked down and it said, "Congratulations, your offer was accepted." So I'm like, "Hey, I hate to be on my phone, but can you give me 1 minute? Because what I want to do is I want to pay for it before they're like, oh, wait a minute. Whatever." So I paid for it, and it ended up being 500 shipped total, but this was in there sealed.
Nice.
Hideout, the big pier, the train set, the first chase that has the wrestler Spider-Man in it.
Yep.
Just insane stuff. I put a video up on my channel for it today, but absolutely insane stuff. I tallied up what their asking prices are right now on Bricklink, and it was $1,750 total value. And I paid, it was $500 after tax and shipping, so it's more than triple the value of what I paid.
Wow.
So, and they were in good condition.
I was definitely excited about that.
Wow. It leaves us speechless, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the chat. Wow. Whoa.
Wow.
That's insane.
It's always the great story that goes along with it as well. I think that's
honestly, I could care less about the sets. Well, I mean, it's obviously cool to have them sealed, but I get to tell that story forever now. It just adds to the good deal.
Exactly. Was the girl excited?
I mean, I briefly explained what was going on, and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Are you gonna spend $50 on me tonight?
That's amazing.
That is awesome.
Great. Well, do we want to just quickly say hi to everybody in the chat? Glad to see everybody here. Hello, Spidey Edits. What's up, Lego Lockin? Hello, Samuel. What's up, Cool Master? We got quite a few.
I saw Rob in the chat earlier too.
I know.
Cool.
Got Block.studios in the chat even.
Hi.
Billion versus reality. Are you?
Oh my gosh!
At work?
Hello. I have something I'd like to talk about that I got this past week.
Sure.
Oh, have we not gone to you yet?
No,
we forgot about Brad. Jeez,
sorry, Brad.
Hey.
So forgetful.
So I got a couple cool things in the mail this week. The first off is, if you knew, there was a GWP at Walmart for some reason, out of all places, and it was this little castle set, which comes in a Ziploc bag. This is literally how it comes.
What?
Yeah,
that's sealed, new and sealed.
Yeah, so
oh my gosh.
I don't feel bad about opening it anymore. But if you don't know, this castle is based off of 375, the original castle. I saw it. I was like, I can spend $50 at Walmart, and I think this will be cool.
That was $50.
Well, so you spend $50 on a set, and then it's really weird. You take a picture of the receipt, you send it to these 4-digit phone number. They send you some other stuff. You fill out a little survey, Yeah, I don't know. I may be on a government watch list or something now, but yeah, I have the
I just
castle.
did mine last night, so we'll definitely be on the same list.
Okay, good.
So this is legitimate. This isn't
No.
just a Brad backwater thing. Like, so this is
No,
a
no.
real thing.
It's in the aisles. If you go into your Walmart aisles
my
now,
gosh.
actually, Zane, if you still have your receipt from your set, you could get it.
Wait,
Really?
Yeah, legitimately. If you went and bought Lego at Walmart, you can just take it. You just have to take a picture of it. You spend over
I'm
50
pretty
bucks.
sure it ends really soon, though. So
Yeah.
I would literally do it like now.
After this,
Yeah,
like
after
right
this
now, while I'm
ongoing?
sitting here, like,
I can't believe it's still
Um,
ongoing. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, it's weird, but I think this thing is going to go up in price. There is one piece that is unique to the. I would actually, that is unique to
Ooh,
the
castle.
set, but I have a feeling like not a lot of people went after it. I'm guessing.
Wasn't well advertised.
Yeah, it really wasn't. But the bigger thing this week, and for the record, I have to thank Jonathan because he's kind of one of the reasons that I actually went after this. When we were
Oh.
talking to him down in Virginia, he was talking about collectibles, and he goes after a lot of those, superhero ones, and that really made me start thinking. And someone sent me a Macari offer, Macari item, and I looked at it, and I was like, no, I can't get it. And I started thinking about it more, and I was like, you know what? If I want to be the true castle guy on YouTube, then I gotta get some interesting castle stuff. So I ordered this, talked the guy down some. And guys, this is the stupidest Lego castle item I have ever bought, but in my opinion, one of the coolest. Guys, I bought Lego castle napkins. These were sold officially by Lego.
You
But-
bargained for napkins?
Yes, they're sealed. There's 2 packs in here, officially sealed, as you can see,
Wow.
by Lego, and it's Night Kingdom 2. And I was like, you know what? Not many people can say they have Lego castle napkins in their collection.
Sealed.
Sealed too.
But it's
It's
Knight's
so
Kingdom
funny you
2.
mentioned that. I actually just got some.
Probably from the same seller.
But yeah, so I actually the only other listing I could find is on eBay. It's around the same price. I might buy them up too, so I have the only listings.
Wow.
Brad, you got to get those napkins graded.
Yeah, but actually, my goal is to get them framed and hang them on my wall.
Wow.
You're gonna open
You can
them.
have-
No. Like in the sealed bags, like sealed,
okay,
frame the
okay.
bag. But yeah, so it's just such an interesting item, and I was like, you know what? Again, if I want to be the castle guy, I want. So actually, my goal. I've been looking now for just weird items like that because I think they're absolutely fascinating. So, yeah.
Congrats as well on your TikTok video that blew up with your.
Yeah, that
castle
was interesting.
One of my all-time favorite videos, Brad. I absolutely love
Dude,
it. I know
You
Sai
tagged
loves it
Sai
too.
in it. I was in stream. I was building the set, and I noticed that in the instructions, and I started joking with Sai about it while he's like in my chat. It was the funniest thing. But yeah,
So, did anyone else comment on that video? Anyone else really like that video of yours, Brad?
dude, it blew up on TikTok. It's one of my It's my second most watched video on TikTok right now.
Well,
For those who don't know
congratulations, Brad.
the last thing is, as you can see, I did build the new castle. I had to get some gangster photos with it. Actually, I did a photo shoot with some Lego this weekend because a friend wanted to practice photography. So I have some cool photos coming out on my socials here soon. But yeah,
And
I did
including
finish
his
the castle.
OnlyFans.
Yes, actually. Not joking. But I did finish the castle, and I do have to say it is and I'm not just saying this as a castle fan. The set is incredible. How Lego designed it and built it. They did an amazing job. In my opinion, it's one of the best buildings that we have gotten in a few years. In topping Daily Bugle, Sanctum Sanctorum, Mos Eisley, 10 times better. So
Do you have the Daily Beagle?
no, but why would I want just a gray tower?
It's like your giant gray building.
Oh.
He only wants a gray tower if there's 4 of them in the corners and the wall.
Yep.
And then
some shields on
with
it.
a label Nexo Knights. Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Maybe that's what's in the $1,000 mystery box.
Oh,
There's some
Jack
good-
Stone.
Okay, I will say Jack Stone would be the biggest F you. It's just 1,000 Jack Stone figures because they're worth about $1.
Hey, that's what I told. They asked me what I thought should be in the box, and I told them Jackstone, Friends, Angry Birds, and
Team
X-Men.
Belleville.
Oh man. Oh, do I even want to participate in this anymore? Like, it's
What
like my
you
There's gonna
home
be
games.
some
what
really
you
good
really
stuff.
need to get is get some Lego Scala in there. You guys ever seen Lego
Oh.
Scala?
What is
The old
Scala?
stuff.
Here, I'm just gonna Google what Scala is real quick.
Educational moment for Zane.
Guys,
it was
if you
like
guys don't
the-
know, I'm like the one person like, in this whole room right now
Oh,
who doesn't
this
understand
crap.
the details of this stuff. It's
I forgot about this stuff. It's
Here you go. You need 3121. Get a little baby Thomas going.
I see. Yeah,
It's
that's my
horrifying.
favorite.
Look how he stares into your soul.
I won't look him in the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He knows my
oh,
feelings.
there you
Some
go.
Galador,
Yeah.
some Galador in the mystery box. Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
in my drawer of disappointments.
Well, speaking of awesome Lego sets, we got some awesome Lego sets coming out here pretty soon.
Yes, we do. I can find the intro for it.
Every time without missing
I'm
a
so
beat, you know?
professional here.
I
Professional.
didn't have time. All right, guys. Well, we got some new sets coming out. Let's talk about them.
And now for breaking news.
All right. So we did get a drop of one new set this week. And it's another of the Lego Ideas line. Coming in pretty expensive actually, but it is the new Lego Ideas Lighthouse.
Ooh.
Honestly, this brings me back because my grandparents had like the like model lighthouses in their houses. So like this does bring me back and it is kind of cool. But yeah, what do you guys think? It is motorized, by the way. And I'll grab it.
What?
And it comes in at $469.99.
Should we go around the table with this?
$469.99. Yeah.
Whoa, 400?
I thought it was 300.
470.
sure it's-
Literally.
I'm 470.
That is
Unless
a lot of money.
Oh, it changed. Okay. Oh my gosh.
I
Stupid.
thought it was 300.
So
thought it was
Lego.com, every time I go to
$2.99.
it, literally changes what area I'm in. And it looked right when
Were you?
I
in
was
the
kind of
UK?
surprised. It was Australia.
Oh man, I feel
Sorry,
It's actually
bad.
$29.90.
Yeah. Okay. It's $300. Sorry. Whew.
Okay. I was gonna say for that much. Dang.
Yeah.
Personally, I
Oh.
really like the model itself. Even though it is quite a bit of money still for a lighthouse that's just kind of a display piece, it's a beautiful set, a great display item, and I think it's for a specific type of person. I saw a lot of people hating on it online, but with the motors that are included and the new mirror part that actually works the way that a lighthouse does
That's
in the light,
Yeah.
I think that like makes it worth a lot more, because I'm sure that if you were going to take it apart or even just buy those parts off of Bricklink, you could use them in other ways, like Mr. Ethan, the artisan mock builder down there. But honestly, this is something that someone like my mom would really like, who's really into nautical things. We
I was
go
just thinking the same
boating
thing.
often, and like for that type of person who might live near the water, or maybe they have kind of a beach house somewhere, I think that would make a great display item for them. Zane,
I
what
was
do you
thinking
think?
the same thing. I was like, you know what? Matt's mom would love this. I was just thinking how much she would like this. And
Did
it
meet my
just-
mom.
I did meet your mom, and your family does like nautical things. So I figured she would love this. No, seriously, my mom growing up, like our bathroom, like I don't know if it was like the living room bathroom or like the public bathroom or whatever the heck you want to call it. The guest bathroom, there it is. That's what I'm thinking of. Duh. It was oceanside theme. Like it had starfish, lighthouses, all that stuff. And so every time I see a lighthouse, I think of my mom. But I don't know if I would buy that for her for $300.
Right.
If-
It's a hard
but the-
gift.
It's the gift. It's hard, but I do appreciate the pieces and the motors, and I do think it's beautiful. I like the stonework, the little cave down
Yeah.
there, the boat, the figures, the all. I really can appreciate it, and I do like it. So, what about you, Ethan?
This is my older brother. I've never heard him say this, and it's been a while, for him to be interested in a Lego set. But he said, "I want this one," and because he's he likes lighthouses and all that, but he might actually get it, so that'll be cool.
And then
I
Ethan will
think
steal it,
oh, maybe we'll see.
He just takes one part off of it for a mock.
Yeah, I was like, ooh,
The reflective piece at the top.
yes.
Why isn't my lighthouse lighting up anymore? What happened?
But I think this set comes with 2 lights, one at the top and then a door as well. And then,
there's one in the fireplace kind of type thing, and then one in the lighthouse itself.
that's cool.
So the building can light
well,
up in the inside. If
There's
you
a
open up the
lot.
door.
There's a lot of electronics, and something like this is sold for $50, which it does make sense that there's a motor. There's a motor. There's a hub. There's 2 lights. If you were to buy that separately, it is $100. Yeah. Even though I would much prefer to pay $200 for it.
But I
but
was gonna say, does it actually? I think it does come with a motor, though, right? Because it is
It
called
comes
the
with
motor.
all of the parts that it needs to
Okay.
operate. Yeah.
would you guys
Okay.
prefer
Out of the
if
right
this
there.
was $200 and buy the motor separately, or 300 and
Personally,
everything together?
yes, because I probably have them from something else that I'd rather stick into it.
Mhm.
Same vote here. Same vote
Yeah.
here.
I agree. The lighthouse, the Lego Ideas lighthouse was the monster house. No, the haunted house. That's what it's called.
A house. Which one?
The full house, the one that comes with like John
Uncle
Stamos
Jesse.
here and
I love it.
But I think it's a well-built model, and I like it.
Nice.
Jonathan?
Will I get it? Probably not. My brother
yeah,
will get it.
I mean, I think it's really cool. The price is kind of knocking me out, though. That's a lot of money for what it is, but it is very cool. And I kind of think, like Matt was saying, like if you have an interest in nautical things, like if nautical nonsense be something you wish, then this will probably make you flop on the deck and flop like a fish, So,
You just became my hero. That was
It was so subtle.
Like I'm just waiting. But no, yeah, I think it's cool. I think $300 is a lot for it though, and I don't know. I think it'll be a pass for me just because it's so much space that it takes up too. I mean, it takes up a lot of real estate, and you gotta account for that. So I don't even have room for it, like in the ocean area of my Lego city. So I don't know. It'd be a hard sell for me.
Understood.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too, is like I was looking at it and I was like, okay, it's 2,000 parts. Usually my rule is like every $100 should at least be 1,000 parts. I do get it though. You got the motorized functions, motorized parts go for a lot. I mean, when I worked at the Lego store, you see all the big sets with motorized parts in it and how much of a better deal that was than buying them separately. But yeah, no, I agree. It's like this thing is one massive. It does, from the leaked images we got before, the kind of blurry ones that a lot of people are hating on, I actually think it looks a lot. Now that I see in full, I do like it. Again, I think like, hey, I'd love to, if I was old person, I'd love this in my bathroom. Like, again, because it brings me back to my grandparents. I feel like we all have some connection to a lighthouse. Like
that would have to be huge.
Oh man, that would be. Oh.
I don't know. I think you could, put it in there somehow. Not mine right now, but
Sink.
Y'all don't have a Lego shelf in y'all's bathroom? Wow.
Mine's on.
You really
the
call
countertop.
yourself a Lego fan?
But like, yeah, I think it's really cool. Again, I can't say anything that hasn't been said, so I'll just go with that. So,
would this be something you would buy, Brad?
Not top priority, but maybe. But again, I don't think so. I think it'd be cool to own. I really do. But again, top priority, no. And I gotta agree. Like, even if I had a Lego city, I don't even know if I had space for it. Like, the nice thing, it does come on a 32 by 32 base plate, so it can fit in well with stuff. And I do think this is actually a great addition, not just as a display piece, but for a Lego city. For those people who want to have like, a dock or, have the Coast Guard or whatever around, like this is a great thing to go with it. I feel like this also goes very well with the, there was a fishing shack, I think it was, that sand green.
Super expensive.
Yeah, I think that one this would go very well with that if you had that. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I think there was a Bricklink set with the fishing boat as well. I think that would have been
I
like,
think you're
all together,
right.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool setup.
Yeah.
But let us know in the comments what you guys think. Interested to see if this is a set that you would be interested in picking up, or if you think that it's way overpriced and you would rather put your money towards something else like Star Wars, Marvel, or Castle.
Mini superheroes, all kind of stuff like that, you know.
Napkins.
All that. Napkins, whatever.
No, paper plates.
I did
all
ask people in the chat, and about 57% of the people would say they'd rather this without the electronic components. So,
Right.
Interesting.
Interesting. Very
yeah.
interesting.
I don't know
Anyway.
how many that's at, but yeah,
Right. It could have been 2 people.
it literally could have.
It would. I mean, it would have to be literally a percentage of a per.
True.
All right. Oh, now it's 50-50.
on.
Okay.
Okay. It could be. It was probably 25 people on each side.
All right, Ethan. All right, we're gonna move on from here. All right. Matt, you wanna move us into our next part here?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, it's really great to have our special guest here who we're going to give the hot seat to. We have a lot of questions for you as well. So let's get right into our, if I could find interrogation. It's going to play.
Interrogation.
Dun dun dun.
I'm ready.
Beautiful.
Bring it out.
All right.
Cage
So,
match.
we can just kind of start from the bottom and work our way up. We'll each ask questions. If you have some questions in the comments, feel free to throw them in here. Brad,
All right.
fire away.
We like to ask this question to everyone who comes on our show. Lego journey, how did it start, to what it is now, Dark Ages, kind of that whole story, and then also like content on top of that. What made you start doing Lego content stuff?
So don't mind me while I stand up, because I have my first set ever right here. This is the Johnny Thunder Scorpion Tracker. Now, this isn't like the set I got as a kid, but this is my first set,
Sealed.
So yeah, it's super cool with like that big molded seating part in there, and just a great set. My babysitter gave it to me, and this came out in '98. So I was probably, I don't know how old I was, but 5, somewhere in that neighborhood. Because I think it was like a little bit of an older set by the time I got it. Regardless, she gave it to me. I remember the moment where like she handed me this box. It's so weird how you remember certain things, but
Right.
I built it. I wonder if it's built in here. It's not worth taking out, but I remember driving it around the floor of my babysitter's house and just like loving it. I mean, it's just such a cool little set, basically Indiana Jones light. And yeah, that's kind of how I got started. And I've pretty much collected Lego my entire life, except for one very brief period, like 8th grade going into 9th grade, I'd say. Right around the time I figured out, like, hey, girls kind of like me. I just and thought like, oh, no girl will ever be into me if I'm into Lego. And I just realized, what, it's so much a part of me that it's kind of hard to not be into it. So I got back into it my freshman year of high school, and yeah, I just was always into it. As far as the MiniSuperheroesToday journey goes, though, I went to school here in Nashville at Belmont University, and I had a really difficult first semester of school. We'll be here all night if we get into that, but I decided, hey, all my stuff is here already, so I'm just going to stick it out for both semesters, because I'm originally from just south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, it's a 500-mile drive, 10 hours, 11 by the time you stop at Cracker Barrel along the way. It's a long drive to, move your stuff. So I'm like, I'll just finish out the year. And crazy enough, I ended up really loving it my second semester onward. So I stayed all 4 years, but I took a handful of Lego minifigures that I grew up with me. And I had them on just like a little base plate, whatever. And I decided during my second semester, because I was still struggling a little bit, that I'm like, okay, I have a lot of time that I can spend between classes cultivating something. So I thought, I'm going to start an Instagram page and use these Lego figures as kind of my hook. I can only use the Lego figures that I have right here. And I want to create a piece of content every single day as a challenge to, learn the social media algorithms at that time. Like for all you youngsters, this was spring of 2015. We were still wondering how hashtags worked, and it was still like chronological. So you had to know what time of day to post. Now the algorithms kind of take care of that. But back then, you kind of had to learn those things. So I figured this would be a good way for me to learn a skill that I could transfer to a business. If I was going to work for somebody, I could say, hey, I kind of know my way around social media, whatever the case may be. So I said, I'm going to do at least one photo every day and see how far I can go. If I make it like a month, how crazy would that be? Well, this coming March will be 8 years. So yeah, I've never missed a day.
Wow.
Crazy. And now, of course, that's expanded to YouTube. I do a YouTube video pretty much every day of the year, but just to be safe, let's say like 360 days of the year. And I do, 1 or 2 or 3 TikToks a week too. So, but daily on Instagram for sure. Part of me is like, well, I don't know, will I continue to do Instagram daily forever? But honestly, I'm thinking I'll at least try to hit the 10-year mark, because that would be pretty epic to hit the 10-year mark on Instagram. So,
awesome.
But we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, that's my journey. And, we could kind of unpack anything from there, but that's the whole story.
Crazy.
Thank
Ethan?
you.
With all that said, this is probably going to be the most important question of the night.
Oh God.
Oh.
What is your favorite Lego color?
Oh.
Why?
We went from a very motivational, inspirational story to what's your favorite Lego color?
Color.
It is the hardest question of the night.
All right. That's not a real Lego brick. I'm looking at it. I think it's a custom piece, so that can't count. I honestly don't know. That's a good question.
We ask the hard-hitting questions here on
Yes,
Stuff.
questions that no one else asks ever.
I never thought about that. Let's go with tan, just because it's the base color of my.
There you go.
If this set was green, would I have fallen in love with Lego? No, it's like it's.
I will say I own all the parts of that set and have built it once because it was my brothers. They had all the. It is an awesome set. I do have to say that they did a great job with the Adventures line.
Yeah, it's a great one. Now I am gonna take it out and play with it once.
That's just fine. You're more than welcome to do that. Zane, or go ahead, Ethan.
The green version of that is the Toy Story set with the little G.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, that's not such a bad set, I'll tell you.
I liked it. That was
I want
Have it. It's cool. Zane.
Okay, we're gonna get serious here. We're gonna get deep. Okay.
Time to get serious.
When did the music journey fall into the Lego journey, and why?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I appreciate you asking. So outside of the Lego madness that I do, I'm also a musician. I've been a musician pretty much most of my young adult life. I started playing in a band in 8th grade, and then we got pretty serious between 8th and 9th grade and played all the way through, the end of high school. And then I continue to play now. I write my own music, and of course I've put out some Lego music videos on my channel, so we'll catch up to that. But yeah, I mean, I guess I've been playing since about 2008, so 14 years, crazy. And I'm 26, so most of my life, like over half. But yeah, I just have always loved making music, and it's been cool to kind of integrate it with Lego over the last 2-3 years or so. And yeah, I love it. I mean, I've done a couple of superhero themed songs. Like I did a song called No Way Home based off of the movie. I did a song called Love and Thunder based off of that movie. And I did a song called The Girl Next Door that's based off the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Cause Jane, the girl next door. Yeah. And that one was cool. It's not a Lego video, but we filmed it in New York City, and I had my 12-string guitar, and we filmed it in all the places that they filmed the Tobey Maguire movies. So
So cool.
Thank you. So I never say Spider-Man. I never say Toby, I never say Raimi, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, but if you know what to be looking for, it's like, oh, he's standing on the bridge where Mary Jane breaks up with him, or like, oh, that's the Daily Bugle building, you know? So like it's full of cool Easter eggs if you know those movies pretty well.
So I'm not gonna lie, I known before Brick Fair Virginia you're a musician and never listened to your music. And on the way back from Brick Fair Virginia, I was like, you know what? I met this awesome guy. I gotta check out his music. And so I kind of had it going while I was just driving back on the 6-hour drive. So I definitely recognize some of the song titles you threw out there, and I definitely know the No Way Home one.
Thank you. Yeah, that was fun because I did it with 2 friends. So like I'm singing from Tom Holland's Spider-Man's perspective. Another guy is Andrew Garfield, and another guy is Toby, and it all kind of weds together. Well, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Crazy. Kind of going into, I mean, you've been successful in so many ways, right? Like you've had your music career, you've had this Lego content creator lifestyle, posting every day. You've been a part of the Lego Ambassador Network and had that achievement. You're a critical movie analyst as well, which I'm sure your followers greatly appreciate. I guess what I want to ask you is, with all those successes, and for someone who's maybe out there who's just trying to get in the game of becoming a Lego creator, what advice do you have for people who are either just starting or who may be struggling to begin right now?
Sure. So I think it all literally boils down to one word, or phrased another way, 2 words. So the one word is consistency. But phrased another way, I think you could literally just think about the importance of showing up, right? And so by that, I mean like consistency, right? If you're a full-time student, if you're working 2 jobs, I get it. It's a tough world. It's tough to make it out there. I understand for sure. But figure out what you can do consistently. Can you do 3 videos a week? Can you do every day? Can you do twice a day? Can you do once a month? Figure out what consistency is for you, and put 110% effort into that consistency consistently. And I think that that's it. You know, the person that shows up to the gym consistently is going to do better than the person that shows up once a week. Is the person that shows up once a week still going to gain some muscle mass over time? You know, if they eat right and they do the other things outside the gym, sure. But the person that shows up and puts in, 45 minutes going around the treadmill circuit, doing some curls, right, doing some push-ups, if they show up 5 days a week, they will see results just by nature of showing up and creating and doing and so on and so forth. So you can kind of see the parallel in the importance of just being there and showing up. So consistency and making a pact with yourself that, hey, I'm going to put out 1 video a week, 5 videos a week, 1 video a month, whatever you can do, and do your best at it. And then just showing up and being there. That's the secret sauce. There are other things like, figuring out how to do tags on YouTube, or like learning this TikTok algorithm, or whatever the case may be. But it really literally just comes down to consistency and showing up.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very well said. Also, just want to throw this out there. One of our commenters, Dace, says, can you tell him that his viewers say thank you for the great content? So,
well, I appreciate that. Thanks, Dace. Thanks for hanging out here too. Up, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining the Stud Buds, Dace. Brad, do you have any more questions that you would like to ask?
I do. Okay, so I do a lot of stuff outside of Star Wars and Marvel, and I always love to know, like, I love original Lego themes, if it's castle, whatever. Like, and I know you do too, because I know I've seen you post about some of them on your Instagram and stuff. So, like, top 3 non-licensed Lego themes, you know what I'm saying, like, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Man, Exo Force has got to be up there.
Yes.
Gotta go with Adventurers. I like even the sub themes of Adventurers, like the Orient Expedition was super cool. The one where they're like in India and China, those ones were super cool. But I gotta pick a third. It's not licensed. Do I have any on my shelves behind me? I have a Jack Stone, but that's because I'm curious. Like, if I have it on the shelf here, then obviously that means that it's important
It's
to
important
me.
enough.
I mean, I like Speed Champions, but I think you could argue that that's a license because, like, you have specific.
Technically, yeah.
I think I'm having trouble thinking of a third one that I love. I mean, there's a lot that I like. Like, for example, I really like racers because I have a lot of nostalgia for these from when I was a kid. But I
Nice.
love it. Like if Lego announced like we're bringing back racers, I wouldn't like fall to my knees crying tears like I will when we see the first Indiana Jones set pictures for next year. I mean, I'm gonna have to live stream that if I can because I'm gonna cry. But yeah,
It gives me a similar vibe of stunts.
I'm having trouble. Throw out 2 or 3. And
Power Miners, Atlantis. Let's see, back in the day.
Operators.
Ninjago.
Castle.
Chima.
Not Nexo Knights. Not.
I'm trying to think of what I got around me here. Let's try to think of some more original ones. Rock Raiders. I guess that was one of the original ones too. Alpha Team.
It's all right. I don't.
Okay.
Cool. I just don't love it.
Okay, no, I can understand that. We'll have to circle back to that.
I know. I got it.
Yes.
Agents.
Oh,
that one's a good one.
Go.
Wait. The newer one, I'm guessing, right? With the orange. They had the dark blue suits.
Yeah, the dark blue suit, like maybe 2008-ish, 2009.
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Such a solid theme.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see if I have any around me, but no. Yeah, there you go. There's my ones.
Sweet.
Perfect.
So he
That's
does
a
do
good
things other than superheroes.
Yeah, superheroes is in the name, but mini Indiana Jones today doesn't really roll off.
Also, I think that's a copyright strike somewhere in there. I mean, from like Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
Trademark. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be it. That would hit me.
Ethan,
you've been lagging
Kind
in
of-
and out, but can you
I've been very laggy, which is not good. But basing off kind of Brad's question, what are your top 3 favorite Lego minifigures?
It changes. It changes from time to time. I know, like lately, I just dropped my Sharpie, but don't really need it. Lately, it's been this guy, the Tobey Maguire Spider. Just because I'm having so much nostalgia since before No Way Home. So he's up there. 2002 Jango Fett, who's just green, is up there. And a couple of the ones I'm going to show you a little later tonight are up there too. So
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Sweet.
So is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man your favorite Spider-Man? Like out of the 3?
Yeah, I mean it's not even a competition.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I just like those movies were such a huge part of my childhood, and I went through some pretty tough stuff as a kid that those movies helped me keep my head high on days where it was kind of difficult. So they really mean a lot to me. And now seeing that it kind of connects to the MCU and means so much to so many different generations of Spider-Man fans, it just, I don't know if No Way Home can ever be beat for me.
Oh, the nostalgia that comes with No Way Home. Even like when he's trying to pop his back. Like that got me so good.
Yeah.
Oh. The other ones here, they might not have seen it. It's too old for the other Stud Buds members.
My
grew up on
gosh.
Tobey Maguire. I saw them a bit later in life than probably other
What?
people, but I did
I-
watch Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Was a fan of them.
The thing about the my back scene and having his back cracked, so it's a reference to Spider-Man 2 where he gets up and my back. That was a reference. Tobey Maguire actually hurt his back filming the movie Seabiscuit between Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man. And he hurt his back so bad that he almost didn't return for Spider-Man 2 because he couldn't physically do it, but obviously he did. And Jake Gyllenhaal was going to replace him for Spider-Man 2 if he come back. But he didn't.
What?
work that joke in about him hurting his back
Wow.
because he actually did in real life between the two movies. Then, of course, Jake Gyllenhaal, like 15 years later, plays Mysterio. So it's just kind of funny how like
It worked
all-
out like that.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I did not
I didn't
know
know
that.
Neither did I.
Crazy.
And I love the Tobey Maguire ones. My vision of Spider-Man, like even if you just look at comics, the Tobey Maguire is my vision of Spider-Man. Like the nerdy kid who becomes strong, the girl next door, just all of it. Just everything in it is just perfect for me.
and it makes for a great basis of a song.
I just watched. So while y'all were chit chatting, I just watched the music video over here, and it
okay.
was
Not pay
amazing.
attention to us again.
Yeah.
As always.
Not in
ADHD,
the
I'm telling you.
stream.
Multiple things. I'm doing multiple things, but now I get all the references.
Yeah.
Sweet. There you go. There you go. Zane, was that your question, or did you want to ask something more?
I've been
like-
wanting to ask that question since
Okay.
I met this man. So
Sweet.
I'm glad I
Okay.
asked the question.
I'm glad you had the chance to. I guess this will kind of wrap it up, and then we'll move on to kind of seeing cool things from your collection and getting stories about those. But
Cool.
in 10 years from now, where do you see this all going for you? I mean, like we said,
Ooh.
you've had some great successes so far, but is there somewhere you want to take all of this? I mean, you have so many different things that you enjoy. Is there one thing that like you want to kind of take to the next level, or?
I can't because like in the works of like what the next
Way to go, Matt.
is gonna be. Something big is happening
Darn.
month. I mean, just like
Okay.
mind-blowingly big, but I can't say just yet. But it's not related to the big thing. The big thing is an idea I had in 2019 and wanted to capitalize on it in 2020. And I was talking to, I'm trying to word this lately, a company about using their infrastructure to make it happen. And then 2020 happened and everything got shut down, including their infrastructure. And so it was shut down until like mid 2021. And now it's open again. And I need to do a proof of concept before we use the infrastructure. I know that this is all very cryptic.
No, that's fine.
Not even
We
guess,
understand.
but it's so epic. I haven't seen anybody else do or think of something like this, but it requires so much like behind the scenes work just to get it across the table. So yeah, we're working on like the proof of concept for it, and we'll get there. But
okay, more coming soon. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. But like, so your 10-year plan revolves around this specifically, or I was just kind of meaning more generally in a sense.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big evolution if it takes off. You know,
Sweet.
we could do the proof of concept and then like do like, and it could flop and then it goes nowhere. So I'm not banking like the decade of life on if this sinks or swims, but I do see it being a big part of what I want to do moving forward. But also, you know, people have asked me about like opening up a store or a museum. It's not really my thing. I don't really have any interest in that. If somebody wanted to open one and like obviously here in Nashville and wanted to like show some of my stuff there, I might be open to that. But my big thing is like my barometer for success is being able to cash a paycheck from anywhere in the world at any time. And so opening a brick and mortar business is actually, as cool as it would be and as financially viable as it may be, it's actually a step away from what I want personally.
Yeah.
That's not to say it's bad if somebody does that or whatever. It's just not what I want personally for my life. So I guess I don't really have like a set goal. Like by 2032, I've got to be doing this. But yeah, I'm just kind of building mini superheroes today into being like self-sustaining, I suppose, and just continue to do that is big. But outside of Lego, you know, continuing my music career, got some cool stuff in the pipeline for next year. I just got a call today about possibly playing in Europe next year. So like, you know, that's pretty big.
That's cool.
So,
It's really
I
cool.
juggle so many things that it's honestly kind of hard to like make a 10-year plan because
Yeah.
like, I do the Lego thing, which I consider a business. I own 2 other businesses. So it's like, it's honestly hard for me to tell you what 10 years looks like because like last year was so different too. Like
Right.
this
Yeah.
year is so crazy compared to what I thought it was going to be that it's kind of hard to map out. Half the fun is not knowing.
Yeah.
Right. Completely agree.
Mm.
Completely agree. Well, very cool. So stay tuned. There's more in the process. Well, with that all being said,
I would actually like to ask him one more quick question.
oh,
I know
go for it.
it's probably gonna be a little bit longer than a quick one, but this hit me. You're a big Marvel. Like, I feel like you're the person to ask about this. Like, I feel like if Marvel the best, like Lego wise. I saw this on your Instagram story. I saw you're pretty disappointed we aren't getting Avengers Tower or Hall of Justice. What
You saw somebody else's story. That wasn't me. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled we're not getting an Avengers Tower.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Do
Yeah.
you think do you think that Lego should make one? Or are you like,
Yes. So here's what's gonna happen. Now, when I say this, I'm saying this like as a Marvel expert. I don't know anything from Lego. I haven't gotten any
Right.
communication, so I just want to be clear about that.
yes.
But when I explain this from a marketing standpoint, it's like Lego cannot be so stupid to not capitalize on the plan I'm about to lay out. So I've been saying since the beginning of the year, we've had this rumored big $500 set that's coming at the end of 2022. Big $500 superhero set. And as the year has unfolded, we've gotten one Lego DC minifigure set, and it's a 4+ Batman and Harley Quinn that just it reuses the same Batman we've been getting for 10 years, and it has the same Harley Quinn that's been coming out the last few years with a new hairpiece. There is no way we're getting a $500 DC set. There's no way. There's no way.
For sure.
There's just no way. So that means it's Marvel, right? Well, what does Marvel have that could justify a $500 price point?
A tumbler.
That hasn't already been made.
I mean,
Marvel,
the
Zane.
Hulkbuster.
Marvel.
I mean,
Wow,
the X Mansion, a $500 X
I know
Mansion,
the answer, so I'm not going to ruin it for you.
But here's the problem with it being the X-Men mansion. X-Men 97, like the rebooted, picked up cartoon, comes out next year. So it would be silly for Lego to put it out now before the maximum hype. It would make sense for them to do it 2 or 3 months after the first episode of X-Men 97 drops.
That's true.
Little kids know who Beast is again, right? Like, I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying, like, when he's like Avengers level popularity, that's the time to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be the X-Men mansion. Now, of
You're a
course,
big
again,
Spider-Man fan, Jonathan. You're a big Spider-Man fan.
oh, I have to build. I have to one by one pick off all the
Okay.
So here's why it's not an Avengers Tower. We got the Daily Bugle modular last year. We got the Sanctum Sanctorum just a number of weeks ago. And we're not going to get a third Marvel modular on the shelf at the same time. There's just no way. There's no way.
That's true.
Now, the Avengers Tower, I do think needs to be a $350 plus set for it to be worth doing. It needs to probably be more than $400. So I do understand why people see the $500 price tag and are like, oh my God, could it be? So I'm convinced that it literally can only be one of two things because Rick Clicker put out that it's not the Avengers Tower and it's not a helicarrier, which also, the last helicarrier I think was like 300 or 350.
A little one?
That's huge. That build.
No, they get like UCS ones, Zane.
Somebody commented on my video I put up yesterday and said something that I'm like, honestly, yeah, I could see that. You know how they do like the Legacy collection or whatever it's called for Harry Potter, where you got like the owl and the magic wand?
Yep, the icon set.
Could they do an icon set for Marvel where you get like a life-size Iron Man helmet? I don't know. Throw whatever you want in there.
They've already kind of done that though with the hammer.
Get Tesseract, maybe then all 6 Infinity Stones. Like,
yeah, I mean, my point is, did they put out the hammer to see how well it sells and
With
then
the
be like,
gauntlet.
we're gonna go in on this because it sold so well?
Right.
Or does the hammer take up so many pieces that it couldn't be in the icon set? Therefore, they kind of sell each other.
It's fair.
Honestly, $500 Captain America shield, life size. That could happen.
That would be.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That'd be really cool.
Well, being how good that the hammer did, I mean, I wouldn't put it past. Like, here's our ticket. Let's throw the shield in there with it.
Well, you think
Yeah.
$500?
Would people buy that? That's my
No, I
question.
would. In a
I have
heart.
to get up off camera. I have to get up off camera because it's hanging on my wall.
If
Do
you
it.
can wear it.
Earlier this year, I did a collaboration with Bricker Builds in their Captain America shield. So this is a life-size Captain America shield that has handles that, like, you can literally hold it and whatnot. And then it also has a mount that you can mount it on the wall, so it's hanging up over there. So Bricker Builds, I think they sell theirs for like $700, if I'm not mistaken. But think about this. They're an independent small business. So the $700 puts in their time for sourcing the pieces, their time for creating the instructions, and their time for shipping it to you, putting it on their website, blah, blah, blah. To me, $500 direct from Lego starts to make sense when an independent business sells it for like $700, $750, something like that.
Wow.
So now I feel like I just need to hold this for the rest of the for the rest of the night. I don't know. That sure would make sense to me to do a Captain America shield life size. But what I actually think it's going to be, like, legit, is I think it's going to be the Statue of Liberty final battle from No Way Home, because this is kind of last opportunity to capitalize on the fight. And we just found out recently, well, we kind of knew earlier this year, but like the general public just found out that No Way Home is coming back into theaters, next weekend or the following weekend or something. So
yes,
one more bump of hype for No Way Home, and this set is rumored to come out in like October or November. Think about that. Okay.
Have I been living under a rock?
I'm sorry.
I was like, have I been living under a rock? Because I'm just blown away right now.
Back to theaters, and it's going to have like deleted scenes, like more scenes with Matt Murdock and the 3 Spider-Men talking and stuff. So, So here's the I think the giant Statue of Liberty, like almost to the scale of Apocalypseburg from the Lego Movie 2.
Okay.
How
much did that go for originally, out of curiosity?
I think that set was like $350, $400.
Okay.
So you get Toby, Andrew, Tom, Doctor Strange, MJ, Ned, and then all 5 villains gets you to 11 minifigures. Now think about this, okay? Could they, because it's a $500 set, could they include more figures? You know, we look at something like the Hogwarts castle that came with 4 minifigs for a lot. So 11 is already a lot, but could they throw in, like, you know, Andrew with the lab coat on, or like youth pastor Toby? You know, could they throw in some extra minifigs just because it's so much money? But $500, Lizard could be a big fig.
Right.
Sandman would be brick built because we never see him as, you know, a human form until he transforms at the end.
Well, I wonder, could they give us like a sand built and a brick, like, and a minifigure of him?
Could be.
Yeah.
But my point being, that sure sounds like a $500 set to me. And a lot of my subscribers have commented when I've said this and put it in videos, like, I really hope that that's not what they do for the $500 set, because, you know, I don't want to get, I don't want Toby and Andrew to be exclusive to a set that I could never afford. And I understand that. I understand where people are coming from.
Can you afford the Andrew minifigure now? That's the only one out there.
Yeah, but this is my point. The reason that I think it's gonna so people don't want it to be a $500 set because, you know, they may never be able to afford it and get it. They want Andrew and Toby. I get it, but that's literally the exact reason why Lego would put them in a $500 set, because they know people will pay for it.
I will buy that day one. I don't even care. I will punch a child in the face.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't go that far, but that's
Zane's views do not reflect those of the stud buds.
No, I'm all jokes, but that sounds amazing. I have never wanted a Marvel set so bad in my I thought I wanted the Daily Bugle really bad.
So think about this, right? The Apocalypseburg, I think it was like 400 legit. I think it was like $300-$400. Well, an extra $100 added onto the price would be enough to add the Captain America shield and the scaffolding.
Right.
Oh,
It's the perfect price point.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I could appreciate that price point.
And
$300 original price for it.
what? I'm sorry.
$300 for yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, 500 equates for, you know, the inflation on Lego. The price is going up, plus the shield, plus the scaffolding,
It's Marvel.
plus a big fig being in there. The original Apocalypseburg didn't have a big fig, and those cost more.
Mm-hmm.
Zane.
Do you think that if they did put so the shield, do you think it would be out of like shiny copper color?
Well, the whole thing would have to be shiny, so I don't think so. I think it will be like a unique shade of copper, but it's not going to be like what do they call that, drum barrel or something?
Yeah, drum barrel.
Gun barrel.
Gun barrel?
Something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head
Medium
right now.
nougat.
Yeah, it is something barrel actually.
Drum lacquer. Yeah.
Drum barrel. That's it.
Huh. Well,
Wow.
that would be awesome. That would be
Like,
awesome. I think that's something we would all like to purchase if it came
yeah.
out. But we will just have to wait and see, I suppose.
It could be
let's
something
cross our
not
fingers.
DC or Marvel. It could be
Who
just
knows?
some other superhero.
It's
film.
gonna be the boys set, you know.
Can we
It could
vote
be
on this?
anything.
Because I would like to put a petition out.
You want to put a petition out
Hey,
for this
in the
episode?
past, you can make a hashtag and it becomes a Lego set.
Aw.
Hey, we did that and we got a Lego store in Ireland.
In Ireland. Hashtag
gosh.
justice for Ireland.
Oh my gosh. We'll not go down that road, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be honestly announced in the next few weeks here. Whatever it's gonna be, I have a feeling we're gonna hear about it soon.
Or a leak or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna know in the next few weeks.
Sweet. Well, is that something that you would like to be made? Our audience who's out there in the ether, let us know in the comments. Be sure to tell Lego what you like and maybe they'll make it. But moving on, there are a lot of things that Jonathan owns in his collection, which I'm dying to hear the stories behind of how he got them. So,
Boy.
and this is partially Lego investments in a sense, because we're going to be talking about how much the things are probably worth, even though some of them you can't really put a price tag on, kind of priceless, especially with the stories behind them. But nonetheless, here is Lego investment.
It's Brick Investments time.
And
There
our
we
love. Not again,
We got it for a
please.
second time. That was so
Not
exciting.
not again, please. Anyways, so these are the top 5 in no particular order, but Jonathan and I talked earlier today and he gave me a list and there were a few things that I liked as well from his collection that I've seen on social media, but here's the first, the Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull San Diego Comic Con Brickmaster exclusive from 2008. Do you want to tell people what this is, Jonathan?
So aside from it being my most wanted set for, well, basically since 2008, it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. They only made 500. And interestingly, there are no exclusive bricks, parts, or pieces in it outside of the box and the instructions. So it's kind of hard to see from like just that box you see there. But like I'm looking at it here and you could see that, like, let me open up the instructions so you could see like what the build looks like.
Oh, shoot.
There we go. So that's what the build looks like. It's just kind of like this old temple ruin kind of thing. And it has this Jeep in there. Now, the Jeep itself was its own Brickmaster set. So inside of this set, you actually got a poly bag. And I really can't think of very many other Lego sets where you got a set inside of a set. So that on itself is relatively rare. But yeah, here's the box. They were hand numbered. So mine is number 296 out of 500. And they don't pop up very often. The estimated value is probably like in the 1,500 to 2,000 range. But I think that'll go next year when the Indiana Jones movie comes out. I think market cap on something like this is like maybe $4,000. I think that's like the most ever be worth. But let me be surprised. I paid way less than that.
Can we ask how much you paid for it?
Yeah, sure. So There may be one or two here I don't feel comfortable sharing, but I'm cool with
That's
this one
okay.
on it. So this popped up on eBay in Canada earlier this year, and they had like a starting bid, or I think they were asking like $5.99 for it. And I asked if they'd take $500 if I paid immediately, and they got back to me immediately and sent me the offer, and he wrote.
That's a
Boom.
pretty great deal on that.
Insane.
One of 500, and you paid 500 for
Numbered
it.
on the back too, so they had to like flip this over 500
Man.
times, 500 boxes to number them.
Whew.
That's
crazy. That's crazy. So, do you think that this is worth it for people who are big Indiana Jones fans? Like, why was this important to you as a collector? I guess is what I'm asking.
It's my favorite theme. It's the second rarest set from my favorite theme, and I literally remember getting on Brick set in 2008 and seeing it announced and thinking, "Oh, that's so cool! I got to get that." Not realizing that in 2008, and how old would I have been? 13. That I would have to go to San Diego Comic-Con, wait in line for a hopeful, lucky chance to get this. So, it was worth waiting 14 years for, and I love it. And I was thrilled too that I guess it came open. Like, it just has these little tabs, kind of opens like a pizza box. So I don't know that it was ever sealed, but like this one has all the original bags of parts in it and stuff. So it's as close to mint as it could be, but I wanted it open so I could review it on my channel. So, I'm in this weird camp where I don't mind having open Comic-Con sets. I actually prefer it because then I don't have to review it and be like, here's a box that I can't open.
Right. Makes sense. That's really cool.
Wow.
Very cool. Well, I did some research myself to see how much this was, and my camera just decides to disappear sometimes.
You and Ethan having a good time today.
I know. But we actually had talked about this a couple weeks ago, right before Brick Fair. We were talking about the 5 most valuable Indiana Jones sets. If I could have it back up. There we go.
Oh,
Whoop, Brad. There you go. Thank you. So according to Brick Economy, which sources this information from across the board, it's valued at 1,942. And on Bricklink, where there's only one that's really new and quote sealed, like you said, it can't really be sealed. That's being sold at 1,839. The other one that's used doesn't have the instructions or anything with it. Likely was pieced together. Like you said, there were no exclusive parts with this set. So it'd be very easy for someone to come across all the parts and then sell it at a premium for $203. So sounds like you got a pretty good deal on this one.
I'm very, very happy with it. And everything that I'm showing tonight are pieces that, like, if I had to part with my collection and start selling stuff, these would literally be the last 5 pieces I got.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
These are the meaningful things. The meaningful things. They're basically priceless.
Got into, when you asked me to pick 5, that's kind of the angle I thought of them with. So
Understood.
Number 4. See what you put as number 4.
Sure. Well, like I said, they're in no particular order. And it's just, I guess the reason why it's under Lego Investments as well is for people to know that these things are worth some money if you ever do come across it, because half of Lego investing and collecting is really knowing what's out there. Yeah. But I just put it at the same order that you gave it to me as well. So number 4, he has a Stan Lee autograph.
Yes. So I met Stan Lee twice while he was alive. The first time was at a Comic-Con in Cincinnati, Ohio. I was there with some friends and we were all cosplaying. So I was with a guy that was Daredevil, a guy that was Nick Fury, and I was Ant-Man, like in the original 2015 movie. He walked in, and if I remember, he was sitting in a director's chair with his legs crossed and he had his arms crossed. And when we walked in, he like kind of leaned in and he went, "Oh, excellent costumes, gentlemen. Excellent. You look exactly the way I designed those characters in the comics." Well, here's the problem with that. I was MCU Ant-Man. Daredevil was Netflix Daredevil, and Nick Fury was Nick Fury. So he didn't design any of those. So he was just being super cool. But I met him there, and I didn't get an autograph because I was in college and couldn't afford it. The only way I could afford the photo I got with him is because I split it with 2 other people. So no autograph. And then literally a year later, I'm in Los Angeles. My mom and I went out there, and I landed at Los Angeles Airport. And we walked out to get an Uber, and we accidentally got off because it's a huge airport. It's hard to navigate. But we accidentally exited the airport where people are dropped off instead of where they leave the airport. So my mom's on the phone, and she's talking with the Uber guy, and I'm just kind of standing there minding my own business, and this Escalade rolls up, and somebody gets out of the driver's seat and comes around to the back passenger seat and opens the door, and they're helping Stan Lee out into a wheelchair. And I'm like, so I reached for my phone in my back pocket and said, oh my gosh, would I be able to get a quick picture? And his manager looked at his watch and said, yeah, quick selfie. So I took a quick selfie with Stan, and they got him in his wheelchair and they rolled him in. Guys, I kid you not, he was not in the open sunlight for more than 12 seconds. It happened that fast.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it happened
Wow.
that fast. So I obviously didn't have time to get an autograph. So maybe a year or 2 ago, I was on Mercari and I found this.
Whoa.
The Lego Marvel Avengers. You could see it's the rating pending. So this was like a promotional flyer. I assume that was like given out at Comic-Con. And I guess they got Stan to sign it while they were at Comic-Con. So
That is awesome.
That's
Rated
incredible.
R.
the autograph. But I have one
That's
more autograph story for you too. I've been very fortunate. I've gotten to meet a lot of MCU stars over the years. Like I was at the Ant-Man and the Wasp premiere in 2018, I guess it was, right after Infinity War. And like I mentioned earlier, I have like an Ant-Man cosplay. And so I was in my full cosplay holding my helmet. And I had the cast, when they came out, they signed the gauntlets of my costume. And so I have on this, well, I'll start on this arm. On this arm, I have T.I., who, not the greatest character in and of himself in real life, but he's one like the Wombats, like Scott's friends, you know? So he signed it. Kevin Feige signed it. I got to meet Kevin Feige. Karen Gillan, who played Nebula, she was there. I don't know why she's not in the movie. She is just sport. But when she got out of her car and walked out, it was crazy. I wish I could have been filming it, but my mom got pictures. So she got out of her car and like started to walk over to the fans, and when she saw me, her jaw went. Walked right over to me, and I can't do like her Scottish accent, but she's like, "Oh man, your costume is awesome," you know, da da da. And she autographed it, and then I got it signed by Hannah John Kamen, who was like Ghost, like the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
And then on this gauntlet, Evangeline Lilly signed it when she came down and met all the fans. And then Paul Rudd came through the line, and he was autographing one thing for everybody because he was trying to go quick. And I had my helmet up on like the barrier that kept the fans from, you know, you've seen like all the Hollywood premieres. So it was sitting there. And the reason I have an Ant-Man cosplay is because my friends and I, before COVID, would volunteer to go to like children's hospitals and like libraries and underprivileged areas and like do superhero meet and greets with kids.
That's awesome.
So I was okay with having the gauntlet signed because, you know, that's fine. But Paul Rudd went to sign the forehead of my helmet. And I went, oh, no, can't have you sign it there. And I can't do it the way he does it, but he made that face that he does. He made that face and he signed the gauntlet and he went, killer suit, man. And I'm like, because you like weird thing you do. So I have one more autograph story too. So in Los Angeles, that's where all the magic happens. In Los Angeles, this is the most Jeff Goldblum thing ever. But on Wednesday nights, he plays this unadvertised jazz show with a jazz band where he plays piano. And, you know, he sits kind of like facing this way if you're the audience playing piano. And he kind of like looks over and, you know, it's how he sings. He basically just like talks, like the way he talks is how he sings. But he does this thing. It's every Wednesday night in East Hollywood, and it's not advertised. So you just have to hear about it. And it's crazy because he like talks to the audience between songs, and then halfway through the show, he gets up and my Sharpie's going to be my microphone. He goes, all right, okay, well, I'm sure that there are many millennials and maybe some boomers here that want to get Jeff Goldblum. So I'm gonna come down and I'll take some pictures and sign some autographs for everybody. And so he comes down and people like just line up, and he like talks to a person on this side and takes a picture. Then he turns and talks to a person on this side, and he goes through until everybody gets something that they want, picture or whatever. So I knew I was going to this show, and I took the Grandmaster Lego minifigure because, of course, that's the first Jeff Goldblum minifigure that was ever made. And so it gets to be my turn. And I had a girl behind me. I said, hey, could you like take pictures of our interaction? And she goes, yeah, sure. So I said, hey, Jeff, great to meet you, man. I'm such a huge fan. And I said, I'm actually from Pittsburgh as well, because Jeff Goldblum's from Homestead, just, outside of Pittsburgh. So I said, I'm from Pittsburgh as well. And I have the picture. Jeff goes, hey, yeah. And I have the picture of him going, it's crazy. So we talked about Pittsburgh for a minute, and I said, well, listen, I'd love to get a picture with you, but I have to give you this. I don't know if you know that this exists. And he goes, oh, it's a little Lego Goldblum. He goes, is this for me? Is this for me? And I said, yeah, it is. And he goes, put it in his jacket pocket. And we got a picture together, and he's like doing the whole Goldblum thing. I'm
over
like,
the top.
That was insane. Well, like 6 months later, 5-6 months later, I was in LA again for work, and I was going to be there on a Wednesday. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go see Goldblum again. So this time, in that time span, the Ian Malcolm minifigure had come out. So I got another Ian Malcolm to take to him to gift him. And I also took something to get autographed this time because I didn't know I took the minifig the first time, like, oh, maybe if I meet him. And now I know it's like part of the show. So I took the Ian Malcolm, and when it got to be my turn at the second show, I said, hey, I know you don't remember me from last time. And he goes, no, the Lego guy,
Wow.
Whoa. So I hand him the Ian Malcolm, and he goes, little Goldblum, like the same thing.
Little Goldblum.
Get a signature too, and he goes, yeah, sure. So I cut off the first page of the Ragnarok where Jeff Goldblum is in it, and he autographed it right there.
Oh,
That's awesome.
That is sick.
So that's like, if I know I'm gonna be able to get a picture with a celebrity, I take the mini of them and I put it on my Mini Superheroes Today stand. So, we get a picture where they have their minifigure on there. Or if I know I can get an autograph too, the Lego instructions for whatever their first set or the Lego set. I've gotten a couple of
That is so smart.
That's awesome.
Wow. What an inspiration when meeting
The
heroes.
stories that you have is
I
just
do a
incredible.
impression too. It's all right.
You do it well. You do it better than any of us could, I'm sure. I'm very sure with that.
Okay.
Brad, I don't know how you're pulling things back up, but can you pull up the?
Yeah, no, for sure.
There you go.
I'll control the camera things
Thank
down
you.
here.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Producer. So I was looking just to see how much like a Stanley autograph costs, and honestly, I was shocked that it wasn't more. So at the top, there's a list of comics. These are the signed kind of average comic books. They're not really significant in terms of the stories or pivotal moments that happen. So it has like the non-signed sale and then the signed Stan Lee sale. And I mean, you can see that there is an increase to the price significantly on some of those, but then the more significant ones in the separate list down below, they have like less of a premium increase for his autograph being on it for what it's sold for. So it's just kind of interesting to see like how much a signature would go for. And really it kind of does matter what it's being signed on, because the most valuable Stan Lee autograph was sold at like over $13. And then the same grade for this Spider-Man comic sold for $18,000, which was a 50% increase in value for the comic containing the autograph, which is quite crazy.
That's
But
insane.
moving on to another Jonathan collection story. You have the Toy Fair Captain America and Iron Man figures. Do you want to explain how you got your hands on those two?
Here they are, the big boys. And I have Iron Man kind of separated at the hips because when you're like talking about expensive figures like this, you actually want to try to keep the stress off them as much as possible. So I'll walk you guys through the story of how I got them. So last year at Brick Fair, Virginia, somebody was selling Captain America, as you see him here. Before I get into that, though, I should explain what they are. So these were exclusives to Toy Fair 2012, which is like an industry show. It's not like Comic-Con per se. It's more just about, what toy companies are doing, what innovations they're working on, whatever the case may be. Well, for 2012, that's when the Lego Marvel line was launched and debuted. And they announced it at Toy Fair with some prototype sets and stuff. But I guess Lego held like a little raffle giveaway thing where they gave away 125 Iron Man and Captain Americas. They came in a pair, actually. And came sealed on a lanyard. That'll be important here in a minute. But they only did 125 of each. Well, Lego employees got some extras because they always print, a little bit more. So I've been told that there's actually probably closer to about 500 Captain Americas out there and probably about 200 Iron Mans. Maybe even less of Iron Man. But, Captain Americas do float around from time to time, but Iron Man is much more rare for whatever reason. And this Captain America, I bought from somebody that bought it from Kevin Hinkle, who's a former Lego designer employee. So that's where Captain America came from last year at Brick Fair, Virginia. This was my first. I did have one Comic-Con figure before this, but it's kind of like a dud one. So this was like my first big boy Comic-Con figure. And then last year, this guy named Jeffrey is selling a bunch of stuff for Kevin Hinkle. So he was selling Iron Man heads, just the head. And I was on his Whatnot auction, like before Whatnot was cool and everybody did it. So not a lot of people were on this auction. And he put the head up for sale. Like he started the bidding and then started to explain what it was, but I knew what it was. So I won this head for $32.
What?
And then he had explained it by the end, and every other head that night, I think, sold for like over $100. And actually, my friend Samuel, Rarest Lego Minifigures, he bought all the other ones. So, I got this one for a steal. And then after it arrived in the mail, I made a video saying this is the rarest Lego Iron Man head ever made. And I kind of explained why. And I was set up to go down to Atlanta Brick Co. To shoot a big video there doing a store tour and stuff and blah, blah, blah. Well, when I got there, Chris, the owner, said, I have something you might be interested in. And I said, really? And he goes, yeah, and only you would be interested in it. And I talked to him. He had just the torso. And he said, here's the problem. The inside of it, it's going to be hard to see on camera, but see the X bracing in the middle?
Yeah.
This top one right here is cracked. It's broken off. He said, Atlanta Brick Co. is known that I don't sell broken pieces. So he said, I don't know what to do because it's too rare for me to chuck in the build a minifig bin or just to toss it, but I can't sell it because it's broken. I can't sell it in my store. So he said, would you want to buy it from me, through the store? I can say I got it at Atlanta Brick Co., but he can't put it on the shelf, because it's not a policy. So I got it for an unbelievable price. So I'll say that all in, both figures cost me less than $900 for both.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Crazy.
So that's two of them, two of the rare big boys.
And the
So did
story
you just-
really, it makes it even
Oh, yeah.
better. Go ahead, Brad.
So did you just find like a random pair of red legs then and add it on? Because it wasn't. Okay.
Exclusive. So I just came home and put a pair of red legs on them. Although those red legs, they probably came on some like, you know, random city person. And it's like if they were like Toy Story, you know, and they were sentient, they would be like, oh, I'm like on a minifigure that's only worth $1. And I'm like, not anymore.
Not anymore.
That's very funny. That's very funny.
Thank you.
Well, I did some research on the prices of these bad boys as well, and
But he's sitting down.
value new together, according to Brick Economy, 1,900. Just the Iron Man is around 1,400, and the Captain America is 822 because, like you said, there were more made. But
Wow.
I think it's crazy that you were able to get it for the steal that you did. I don't understand this though. I wish someone would explain this to me. So I looked up the Iron Man figure on Bricklink, and this was the first result that came up. The Iron Man Toy Fair 2012 exclusive sold as a set with the original packaging lanyard of 4 of 150. So like you said, it was 1 of 150 with the lanyard, with the Captain America and the Iron Man from Singapore for, I'm sorry, but $53,000.
What?
I don't believe that exists. I don't know what to make of that in a sense. When I typed in Iron Man, when I searched it on Bricklink, it came up new, the first listing in the US for 569. So yeah, I don't know where to place this really, but it's one of those things where
Yeah.
you would have to find the right buyer for it because there's just not very many out there, and you would have to work out how much that buyer is willing to pay.
Yes, it's a case by case scenario. The one that's like 53,000,
Yeah.
I think you said, that's because it's sealed on the lanyard. Now, I'm not saying it's worth 53,000. I'm just
Right.
saying, like, you know, that's 100% verified. It's real. It's as mint, as sealed as it can possibly get. So
Sure.
it's one of the 125. I know for sure both of mine are like the Lego employee ones. They both came from Kevin Hinkle. I know all the parts
Right.
came from Hinkle's collection. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Crazy.
Damn.
Well,
Crazy.
moving on to number 2, really interesting one again, the prototype, quote unquote, Wolverine mech. Do you want to kind of go over the history of this one?
Yes. In the meantime, though, we'll take a little commercial break. I found my picture.
Oh, the face. A commercial break.
That's awesome.
That is
awesome.
really cool.
The face. What?
I'm trying to find the one.
So many good
I have
memories.
a picture of Paul Rudd signing my suit, but this was like right before he signed my suit.
Oh,
And
That's
then
so cool.
here is Kevin Feige signing it.
that's
Oh,
amazing.
Nice.
And then I didn't get a picture of her signing my suit, but there's Evangeline Lilly like right after.
She's still smiling after she met you.
Oh.
But yeah, so okay, prototype
Very cool.
Wolverine. Prototype Wolverine. Let's go. Where's he at? Here it is. Okay, so here's the deal with these. So everybody knows these sets, right? So we've got Wolverine, we've got Black Panther and Iron Man up there on the shelf behind me, but Wolverine's the cool one to talk about because, you know, there's so much hype around this coming out. So I'm very grateful to be in the Lego Ambassador Network, and Lego sent me out to us to review early, but then they said you can't review them. And we're like, okay. And we all kind of know the story now that like there was some kind of issue with like the pieces, that it wasn't a stable build. And so Lego recalled the sets and then, you know, fixed the builds, whatever, and put it out. So this is one of the land review copies they sent me that inside has like the wrong pieces. And you can see it's got the not for sale sticker that all the land review sets have. So I don't know how many land members got these. I'm going to say less than 10, but probably about 5 or 6. So it's kind of one of those things that like, I can't sell it. Like we're not allowed to sell anything that land gives to us. And I wouldn't want to anyways. I don't know what you would put on a value of it, but it is like a very, very niche, super limited circumstance type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Out of curiosity, is that the thing like you could sell it if you left land, or is it like even then you couldn't?
Well, I have zero intentions of ever leaving land. So
No, sorry. I didn't mean that in like any way.
No,
I was just like curious.
I literally don't even know.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if there was no contractual
Policy.
there's not
agreement.
even a contract. Like the whole land agreement thing is just kind of like a handshake, agreement type deal, no contract. But it would be against the rules to sell it. But
Right.
I mean, I guess if I wasn't in it, I could sell it. But I don't know.
Not
It's
for
just-
sale. Maybe
think I
future
can-
giveaway.
Yeah, I can't give away or sell anything land, and I wouldn't want to anyways. So, but yeah, I just thought that'd be something cool to show you guys.
No,
is
yeah,
true.
certainly
really
something that
cool.
only you could really show, and the very few other people who got those copies. I'm curious to know if there were any produced like from Lego. I wonder. I'm sure they just destroyed them if they did, or if
Yeah.
anybody had got their hands on them.
Right.
But I have no price to put on this in a sense because
Yeah,
they've
I will
not
say,
been sold.
I'm not gonna out who it is, but a prominent Lego YouTuber reached out to me and asked about buying them, and obviously I can't because of land rules, but somebody did try to buy them.
Right.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to out who, but
No, that's
it's
perfectly
somebody
fine.
for sure.
I
Yeah,
feel like
like
at least you could sell these for a couple hundred. Like,
if you had
If
them,
wanted to.
I've
didn't have-
never even entertained the thought, I
right?
just-
Of course.
Moving on to
on
number one.
to number one, we have the rare Mr. Gold Lego minifigure from Series 10, I believe.
Woo!
He is Mr. Gold, baby.
That is
isn't this
beautiful.
the most expensive minifigure?
Is it the most expensive minifigure like of any or in my collection?
Of any?
No, there's
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. He's not even the rarest figure at all. Like, he's limited to 5,000. And so the cool thing
That's
was,
true.
if you got it out of the pack, it came with this little slip. Like, it's like the checklist on the other side. Then the other side is your number. So there's my number out of 5. And how I got this is, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, a fan reached out to me from Chile. And he said, "Hey, Jonathan, I watch all your videos. I'm a big fan. And back in the day when Series 10 came out, I got a Mr. Gold." And he said, "I'm only collecting Lego Marvel now, though. And with that, I have to get rid of the stuff that's not Lego Marvel. So I was just curious if it's something you would want to buy." And I'm like, I mean, maybe, depending on what the price is. And he shot me an offer that I was like, sweet Moses, this is a lot of money. It'd be the most I've ever spent on anything Lego. But it was like significantly less than the cheapest one you can buy online right now and in better condition.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, here's the deal, man. You got to send me pictures, top down, sideways, upside down, next to it, chocolate milk. Like, you got to verify. And he did. It all looked good. Everything checked out. And I said, all right, man, here's the deal. We gotta orchestrate the sale this way and blah, blah, blah. And we got it all figured out, and it arrived, and there it is, Mr. Gold, baby.
And how sweet did the chocolate milk look?
Chilean chocolate milk. That's gonna be my band name.
Oh, there you go.
So is that? It's not made of gold though. It's just like it's a
14 karat gold. No, I'm just kidding. It's not.
it's not a
I
figure.
would believe that.
Yeah, it's not. It's actually not as gold as you might think it is. It's kind of more like a. Have you seen the keychain, the gold keychain minifigure at the Lego store?
Yes.
Mhm.
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Very cool.
I never thought I would own one, but the price that he sent me, I just couldn't say no.
Would you say you said that's the most expensive thing you've ever bought Lego wise? Okay.
Lego wise, yeah. I've even bought entire collections that didn't cost as much as just
Wow.
All at once for just that figure on a plate.
That is
Wow, that's awesome.
insane.
But it came with the accessories and everything like that too. It wasn't just the
Yeah,
fig.
check it out.
With
It's
the code and everything. Did
Yeah.
you? Because I know there's a way to enter. There's another code on that paper that you have. Did you? Has that code already been entered in somewhere?
so they took down the website that you can enter it, so we don't really know.
Okay,
Less than half of them were ever claimed, though.
interesting. Very
So-
interesting.
Wow.
But the cool thing is, if you entered your code, after you put the code in, you could put your shipping address in, and they would ship you a like certificate saying that you are the official
Ah,
Mr. Gold. So
That's cool.
think about this. If only half of them were ever registered, then that means there's like less than 2,500 certificates out there.
Makes it even
And I'm
more
guessing
rare,
you-
right?
I'm guessing you would cut that number down even more because not everyone would put in their address and stuff.
Correct. And I like to say too that like I have no doubt in my mind that there are like kids out there that like their mom bought them
Yep.
2 Series 10 bags at the checkout at Target. And they're sitting on the drive home ripping open the bags, and they got like the Medusa figure, and then they ripped open a Mr. Gold, and it's like,
That's not what I
Which
wanted.
no, the bottom of bins just rotting
Right.
away in people's basements, you know?
I always think about that. How many Cloud City Boba Fett's are in someone's attic somewhere, or Mr. Gold's, or
Well,
who
yeah,
knows
that's
what?
the thing about Cloud City Boba Fett. You know, he's going for like $2,000 right now. Like, you know, 1,500 to $2,000. That's like kind of the price floating around right
Sure.
now. He's not that rare though. Like, you know, there were tens of thousands of them made, maybe even
Right.
hundreds of thousands. The problem is anybody that has one doesn't want to get rid of it.
Hmm.
And anybody that has one that doesn't know they have one, it's just sitting in their mom's basement in the parts bin.
Yeah.
And it may never be found. And like, for example, one of my best friends growing up, he doesn't have a Cloud City Boba Fett, but he has like all the Tobey Maguire sets. And back before No Way Home came out, I'm like, dude, if you were ever going to sell him, now's the time, you know, because it's going to be all-time max value December 16th, the day the movie comes out. And he's like, yeah, I know that they're kind of valuable, but, you know, I'm planning to have a son here in the next 6-7 years, and I just would really like to give him my whole Lego collection and not have him
Wow.
missing Spider-Man. So that's kind of happening now, too, where like, you know, let's just save the Legos for my kids and not even thinking
Wow.
about, you know, so
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Right.
Even Fazoom says, I sold that dang Boba Fett for $100 a long time ago.
I would have given you 200 for Zoom.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Well, back
See-
to Mr. Gold. I did some research to figure out how much it's worth. And like I said, I don't know how accurate these things even are. According to Brick Economy, it's
That
at
Hold on the right, fake.
what?
If you go back a slide, that Mr. Gold on the right with the white background, that's a fake.
Really?
I have a fake-
Interesting.
fake one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind those then?
Here, I'll stand up and I'll get it.
Okay.
1 second. And I'm going to have to handle Mr. Gold too. So I have to put on my white gloves because he got fingerprint up easily. So I try not to actually like touch him with oily hands, you know?
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. It's like an upper echelon of collectible, you know, you got to be
Right.
with it.
Oh,
So,
the white gloves. I love it.
yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm totally serious about it.
I honestly, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Got to get him on the stand here, and I'll put them side by side so you can see. So, the
Oh,
fake
wow.
Mr. Gold is way more gold.
Oh, okay.
It's like more of a yellowish tint,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
the whole thing. And actually, on the back of the fake Mr. Golds, they put a line on the back of his suit for some reason that the real one doesn't have. So,
Huh. So that's
So
a good way
ba-
to tell.
I'm guessing these started popping up quite a bit when they were like kind of announced because people are like, well, you know, it's kind of hard to find them.
nope, Lego fakes weren't really around back at the time of
Oh,
Series
okay.
10. So, Yeah, this one came up, I don't know, like the fake started coming out a couple years ago. And how I got the fake, I don't really buy Lego fakes, but I saw this collection of parts on Facebook Marketplace. It was just random minifigure parts or whatever, and I saw Mr. Gold in there. And I didn't want to tip my hand and be like, "Hey, can you send me some pictures of that gold guy?" I'm like, "Man, the whole lot's $100. I'm gonna roll the dice, baby." So I bought it, and of course, Mr. Gold was fake, but there was some good stuff there, so it wasn't a total loss. But yeah, that's the fake Mr. Gold.
Wow.
Okay.
I want one.
There you
Even it has a story. Great. I love it. Well, going back to, so that's the case for it. Sweet.
Ace, yeah. So he doesn't fight damage or whatever.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Sweet. Well, thank you for being gracious enough to take it out of the case for us.
My pleasure.
Brad, can you bring up the screen again one last time?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, Brick Economy says that it's at 4,250. I don't know, Jonathan. Is that even remotely correct?
I actually think that's under. I think the
Okay.
cheapest
What?
now was like $5,000. Like
That's what I thought too. I
yeah,
thought too.
I actually think that's under.
I was thinking the same. I was kind of curious about this. I mean, it makes sense for it to be a little less considering that it doesn't have the stand or accessories, but this is the only Mr. Gold on Bricklink at the moment as well.
Studios says cheapest Mr. Gold on eBay is 2,000 without staff. So even
Right.
there, like,
But
Yeah.
but do you really want to spend that amount of money without it being complete?
So you go back one slide to the trend, like the
Sure.
Okay, so notice how it pretty much only goes up, right?
Yeah.
Most Lego things are like that, yes.
I think Mr. Gold in the long run will be the most valuable Lego figure ever.
Huh.
And here's my reasoning why. So Cloud City Boba Fett, right? He's going for like $2,000 right now. I've heard some like Star Wars expert guys saying they think he could cap out around 4,000 or 5,000, and that the sealed set could cap out around $10,000. I can see all of that, but Mr. Gold continues to go up, and I think Mr. Gold is going to be the most valuable because he's the most intersectional minifigure ever made at that level of desirability. So my point being, like, okay, they did this super limited Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're like the Shadow Turtle from New York Comic Con. Out of curiosity, if you guys had an opportunity to buy one for, let's say, $2,000, and let's say you had $2,000, money's no object. Like, is that something you would be interested in buying?
Yeah.
I mean, the collectability, yes, because I like, having collectible things is cool, but
Would you buy that for $2,000 if you?
No. I wouldn't even know that it was rare, honestly. I mean, and knowing that it was a San Diego Comic-Con figure, yes, but
Okay, so
beyond
no,
that,
you would buy it.
I would if money was no
he's
option.
a Ninja Turtles. He's a Ninja Turtles guy.
I like a lot of stuff like that. So I would buy Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine. But 1 out of 5, and we're all hardcore collectors, full-time collectors. Okay. Same question for Cloud City Boba Fett.
No.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If it's in really, really, really good condition.
Same question for Mr. Gold.
I would pop
$2,000.
money if it was sitting in front of me and I had the money, dude. I'd pop Mr.
Yeah.
Gold. I
If it was
wouldn't
in
care.
Really, really good condition.
Well, so the way I see it is because like the Cloud City Boba is cool, but I have the 2000 Boba that came with a slave one. Yeah, it doesn't have arm printing, but I mean, to me, it's not that big of a deal. Whereas Mr. Gold is Mr. Gold. What compares to it,
Mr.
Right.
Gold's iconic.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying though, because it's like, okay, like I'm a huge Castle fan. Zane's a huge Star Wars fan.
Really?
Matt is a huge, like you're a huge Marvel fan. Like it's kind of like that. Like there's stuff that I would buy that none of you guys would buy.
Right.
And I think I get that though when it comes to the figures, especially like San Diego Comic Con and stuff like that.
And I
Yeah.
think the thing is, so Lego did this book, Art of the Minifigure, that came out earlier this year. And toward the end of the book, I should have had this pulled up earlier, but toward the end of the book, any day now.
We're going. We're just flipping pages. No worries. No worries.
Pages.
No,
No,
we're having fun.
of course, it's taking me a month of Sundays to find.
Especially in
This
the
is-
beginning of the book. It's the first page.
Watch it. Watch it be. Oh my gosh, I seriously thought it was before this.
Well, while you look for that, like we're kind of talking about with Lego and collecting in general, it's really about the rarity, where rarity and desirability for that individual intersect, where the price is, where it gets bought at. And I think that, like, if you're going to sell something at that absurd price, to most people it's absurd. To us, it's maybe a low price, depending on the figure. It's more meaningful, and we're willing to dish it out.
I think
Yeah.
it's looking out for the right buyer too, because like, all right, I have people, like I have one of the more expensive castle figures because I just happen to find the right person who
Right.
reached out to me to like be like, hey, I have this, you want it, and stuff like that. Whereas like if someone had I'm guessing a San Diego Comic-Con, they'd probably try to reach out to Jonathan to try to sell it off to him, like. If you're try to find the person who knows your audience, and they'll probably buy it, willing to pay their bigger buck for it too.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
that's you got to find like this super specific type of person that really wants that. Okay, this is so funny. I could have swore Mr.
All good. All good.
I could have swore. I mean, I would have. There it is. There it is.
I was about, yeah.
There's one section dedicated to rare minifigures, and he's the only one they put a picture of.
Huh.
So the reason I spent all that time to point that out is Lego themselves are feeding the fire of that being the one, of that being the rare figure, the whatever. So I think that because it's kind of desirable to any collecting niche, I just think that it will in the end be the most valuable figure ever.
Hey, did you know that they're re-releasing Mr. Gold and creating 5,000 more in the next
If they did that, I still think.
I feel like in the next 5 or 10 years, they're going to do something like that. Not another Mr. Gold, but they are going to release another rare minifigure into the CMF line as
On
a
the
mystery
silver
figure.
or
they did Mrs. Gold.
Oh,
That's what I was
Mrs. Gold.
thinking.
Yeah.
I could 100% see that happening.
Mhm.
And if it was, I know for a fact that line would do one of the best out of any CMF
And you
line.
can't feel them.
That's
Oh, the
true.
boxes.
Oh my
That
god.
would. Oh,
I hate to
that
ruin
would-
it for everybody, but
Matt, why to be a party pooper, dude? Come on.
everybody would have X-ray machines going to.
I didn't know this, but at when I was working at the Lego store, I was told the story that actually when Mr. Gold came out, Lego store employees weren't allowed to buy from their own Lego store because they were always next to those CMF figures. So
Right.
like it was very strict about their buying habits around CMF figures or something like that. Like, yeah, it was insane.
The craziest Mr. Gold story is Brother from Another Brick, B-Fab.
Mhm.
That
Doesn't
dude
surprise me.
found 3 in the wild.
In the
when
wild.
they came out,
Yeah. In stores, he found
Oh my god.
Just to-
Oh,
one
he
himself.
would. Of all people, he would.
Yeah, and he sold all 3 like years ago.
he didn't even hold. Oh,
Yeah, he sold it. But honestly, 5 years ago, somebody offers you $700 for a Mr. Gold, offers you $1,000 for Mr. Gold. Hard to say no back then. I
yeah,
understand.
true.
I get it.
Wow.
I mean, for any figure. I mean, I think. Actually, this is a good question for you. Do you think the collecting game for Lego has changed more recently? Because, 6 years ago, I knew what Lego was, but I didn't know about the collecting side of it as much and the rarity of stuff.
So
Same.
that's why Cloud City Boba Fett is the price he is. In 2020, you could get a Cloud City Boba Fett for like $150, $200. He's literally 10x in 18 months.
That's crazy.
So the reason being is kind of like Matt was saying, it's like the intersection of rarity and desirability. So every Lego Star Wars collector, like hardcore collector, wants a Cloud City Boba Fett, wouldn't turn down the chance to buy one. But there's not enough of them to go around. So if there was, he wouldn't be rare. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really fascinating dichotomy. But yeah, I think Mr. Gold's the one. I think he's the one that's going to go all the way. I think he'll easily in the next 5 years hit 8K.
Jeez Louise. Well, you heard it here, folks. Go buy your Mr. Golds. Stock up for the big boom. Crazy. Well, thank you for sharing all that, Jonathan. That was incredible. I'm sure we could talk to you for hours about this stuff, and I'm sure you have a ton of other things that we would love to see, but we would love to probably have you back. Yeah.
We'll do 5 more.
Yeah.
A 5-part series.
Every 2 years you get 5 more things probably in your collection anyways. So
I hope it's not 2 years. We could do it sooner than that. I'd love to come. A lot of fun, guys.
Oh,
Do it. I'm not gonna lie, as you know, I usually love to talk, and I was fascinated like every second. Like I was hanging on every word because I was like, this is the coolest stories I have heard in a while.
Right.
So
The same thing. Like my mom keeps like, this is super weird, but my mom keeps texting me, and because she knows that I zone out and like I do other things while we're watching. But I've been so focused in what you've been saying. She keeps telling me to pay attention, and I'm like, I'm paying attention. This is epic stories. Stanley, what?
that's not a story you get.
Oh.
Like no offense to our past guests, that's not a story we hear that often.
This is a treat. This is truly a treat.
This really is.
We really appreciate you coming on here, Jonathan, and sharing everything with us, and especially your knowledge of it all. Like you're so good at wording things in a way where you can articulate your point perfectly, and it's much appreciated.
Well, that means a lot, and I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me. I know you've had a lot of cool cats on the show, and I'm honored to be among them. And as we kind of sign off here, I just always like to take a minute when we're talking about Lego and say, you know, it's not about how many sets you have. It's not about what you have. Honestly, the greatest thing about Lego is it's the only product in the world that you can buy. And if you don't like it, you can turn it into something you do like. And it's just such an amazing hobby because you can be a Bionicle fan and this person can be a Chima fan and I can be a Marvel fan and Brad can be a Castle fan. But you put us all at a table and there's interconnectivity where we all can relate over that feeling of the bricks clicking and the adventures we had as a kid, or maybe still have now. The point being, it is one of the only hobbies where all of the different niches can come together and enjoy it the same way. And it's just a real honor to be a part of the Lego community and to, you know, be building the community I am on Mini Superheroes Today, and to enter into your guys' realm here and be a part of that. So I'm just big on spreading positivity when and where we can, because it's a tough world out there, and how fortunate we are to have a hobby that elicits the feeling of positivity every time you snap 2 bricks together. And it's just a real honor to, you know, be able to carry forward that message and to be able to talk Lego and bring a bunch of us together on your guys' show like this. So thank you so much for having me, and keep positive out there, people. It's a tough world, but we're going to make it.
Yep, exactly.
I feel like I can't say anything to sum up the show now, but I have to.
Brad, you got to take us out of here. You got to take us out of here nonetheless after that beautiful speach.
Exactly. You know, I got my Superheroes brick here today. That near my desk. I'm near Brick for Virginia. So, but guys, look, if you're not part of our amazing, you know, talking about community, we have ways that you can build community with us that we're actually working harder doing. First off, we got the YouTube community tab, which you can always check. We're going to try to start putting more stuff on there. Second, look, you can go to find our merch store, link down below. You can get awesome shirts, hats, everything below. Also, we have Instagram and Discord. Discord is where we've been heavily working, talking with you guys. We have a ton of memes for next week that we have to show. You guys are biting at the bit there to show those memes. So we have a lot of great memes submitted by you guys. But look, we come join our community. As we said, it's an amazing community. We got Instagram, Discord. I'll go follow that below. Until next week, we'll see you guys then. You're distracting me as always.
Don't forget to stop and smell the roses.
Yeah. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button. So Hope to see you guys on that next one. Bye-bye.